Hey there, Delight of the Bite, coming to you sick this week. Real life, people. So I'm making a good chicken broth today and giving you the basics of that, and wanted to just tell you what I like to put into mine. So I will start with just some good vegetables. I do carrot, just like one big carrot that I will cut into just some chunks, a celery rib or two that I also just cut into chunks. You don't have to get fancy with how you cut it up. Also half an onion, and I leave the skin on that. I don't even peel it. And then I take a whole bulb of garlic, how it comes up like this, and I slice it across this way. So I got kind of two open halves where you can see all the different segments of the garlic. And then I also put fresh ginger, peel that off and then put it into a couple chunks. And then herbs, some peppercorns, I threw a couple of those in there. And then for the chicken part, I'm doing today just a few chicken thighs that I happen to have, bone in and skin on. The bone will give off some really good flavor and depth to the soup or the broth. And then I'll let that be in there with the meat and everything for about 30-ish minutes or so once it kind of comes to a boil, and then you lower it down. And then I will take those pieces out with the chicken thighs, peel off the skin, throw that away, chunk up the meat, and then save that for later when I'm gonna maybe make some soup out of it. But now you're just getting the base. And then here's the scary part, chicken feet. Chicken feet seem creepy, but you guys, they actually are really, really good and have a lot of really healthy properties to them with glucosamine, chondroitin, I think that's how you say it, collagen, trace minerals. They're really good and they give a depth of flavor. And because of those things, sometimes when you make a broth, it gets almost like gelatinous, like it looks like Jello when it gets cold. Don't freak out, that's a good thing. That means you have all the good things in there. And then when you heat it, it will melt out. And it just means you have a really, really good bone broth going on there. So that's what I'm making up today. I'll show you how I throw it together and then give you a few tips on the backside here of what I do for my soup. But hopefully I'll be feeling better and sounding better next week and be showered. Yeah, that'd be good. Okay. My stock has been going for about 5 hours. So I have, I'll show you real quick, I have a colander in a bowl, and I will very carefully pour this rich yumminess in here. Now you can do this in a crock pot if you want, and leave it overnight. That will also work. And some people that have Instapots, it also would work in that. But you just strain away all the, and try not to look at the chicken feet too closely. Kind of grosses me out too. But what you're left with is just a really, really rich, and I can use a fine sieve as well, but you're left with a really, to get the tiny herbs and things if you wanted to, but you're left with a really, really rich broth. And once this thing cools, it'll be kind of a little bit gelatinous and thick, and any of the hard fat will rise to the top, and some people like to keep that, some people don't. But then you can take this and make soup with it or just drink this straight. or use it as your, chicken stock that you would put, and then you can cut up your carrots and celery and onion in nice sized pieces to eat. And I can re-add my chicken back into that and make a nice soup. So I will show you the finished product when I have it. So I'm not feeling awesome, and as we all can hear, so I'm not making soup. So this is my finished product, a mug of my delicious broth. It's gonna be so good. And I can't taste a lot, so I'm not gonna be able to do lots of oohing and ahhing and ooh, delight of the bite in my mouth, yum. It's just not happening today, but I can tell you this is really good for me, and it would be good for you. And it's also just a really good base to a super flavorful soup. Don't be scared of the chicken feet. They seem kind of like, ugh, but I just got them in the freezer section at my grocery store and didn't even have to touch them. I just slid them right in there, and they do make such a superior flavor, such a superior texture of the broth. And it's just really, really good for you, full of all sorts of good, healthy things with the ginger and the garlic and all the yummy things. So anyways, if you're feeling sick, this is great. If you're not, this is still great. And like I said, great start to a really delicious soup. Anything that you would add chicken stock to, you can use this and it'll just amp the flavor up that much more. So hopefully I'll be feeling better next week and won't sound like I have a frog in my throat. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Delight of the Bite. Subscribe if you haven't to on my YouTube. Take care.